Well, I first started when I was about 15 years old. Played football for Sheffield Boys. Didn't quite make the next grade because of my body weight and I was getting pushed off the ball and really weak. So I started my PE teacher at the time at Myers Grove School in Sheffield. Had me on the weights and straight away my body, I just loved the feeling of the weights. And every day, every week I could practice see a little bit of improvement. And I kind of drifted away from the football and started thinking more about the weights more and more and more every week. So eventually I stopped the football and just concentrated on my weights. And then a friend of mine, must have been around about 16 years old, took me to see Stay Hungry, Arnold Schwarzenegger film. I walked out of the pictures and that was me. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a competitive bodybuilder, even at that 16 years old. Injury wise, through my bodybuilding career, I think I have been quite lucky. I've never been what I would call particularly strong. A lot of these guys have got powerlifting backgrounds. I never went down that avenue. I always wanted the more prettier physique. I don't know why it happened. It was a red hot day in July, incline pressing. I'd done a warm up on the flies. It felt, for some reason, I always think back in that day, it never felt right. I don't know what it was. I think I had a bit of pressure at work and my body just didn't feel right that day. And for some reason, I got a bit aggressive on the incline press. I jumped to set a normal warm-up set and tore my pec away from my front deltoid, which was horrendous, to be quite honest. The guys in the foyer in the gym actually heard it tear, and my arm was covered, internal bleeding right down my arm, right down my back, down the front of my pec, and it's still visible when I compete, but it was just another thing I had to get round. That was 2006. I didn't compete for 3 years. I never thought I was going to compete again because of it, but I came back and it's never ever affected me. This is my life: tuna, brown rice, chicken breasts, porridge. Basically, what I do to suit my lifestyle is I blend most of my food. Quite simple, to be quite honest. What I do is get my blender. I've got some lemon, dial up lemon, low fat, tiny bit of that in, some water, 230 grams of tuna, which I get in a catering can, 2 tablespoons of Ludo's oil to give me my fats, and 2 large scoops of brown rice for my high glycemic carbs. Jane's been there from when she was 17. She's all Jane's known to be bodybuilding. You know what I mean, obviously with kids and everything. Jane's always been there for kids, and I always have been. It's family life and bodybuilding isn't always a great combination. You know what I mean? It can be very, very hard when your kids are younger and you're eating sweets and you're dieting, and I think I was a little bit less mature obviously in those days. I was obviously a lot younger guy, and things got to me a lot more now. I'm a lot more chilled out, and it's with the grandkids, and it's not nowhere near as much as a problem. I seem to deal with it better now as an older person I did when I was a younger kid. Yep. My trophy room, this little baby at the back here, 1984, that's the one in Newcastle where I'm a car stolen. Very first show, number 13, I got called out as. I thought unlucky, but it turned out to be a great day, apart from the car, and I got first place in my first show. After that, I had a bit of time off. I actually had 6 years off before I competed again, and came back in 1990. I think it was 1990, and I came third in the class one Misters at the North East. Went to the Britain, didn't place in the top six at the Britain. We just kept on going, and to be quite honest, I think a lot of my most improvements came when I did get to 40. I think that's when I think my family life was a bit right. Kids were getting a bit older. Business was more secure, obviously work-wise, financial-wise. I think it was a better time as I got older. My muscles seemed to respond, and I got the maturity I needed. Well, to qualify for Miss Universe, you have to place in the top six at the NABA Britain. So it's all about getting. It's like a bit like FA Cup final, really. You start off all the people start raw in the little shows, and you get taken through to eventually get to the Britain. Then from the Britain, they take the top 6 to the universe, but only if they're good enough. I mean, a lot of times at the Britain, if they don't think that those top 6 guys are good enough, they'll take the top 3. And it's same at the universe backstage. There'll be somebody come round at the universe. If you're not good enough on that day to go on stage to represent your country at the universe, then they don't let you go on stage. That's just the way it is. I'd love to keep competing even in my 60s. That's my ambition, to have the best physique ever over 60-year-old, which is something I really hold close to my heart.
In the UK or in the world?
In the world, I'd like to do it, because I look at some of these professional guys now and I see the physiques, and even the ones that's been Mr. Olympia, for some reason I don't know whether their genetics are that good when they're younger. It's seen more when they drop off. They just don't seem to hold it as much as the guys that have had to really, really work hard for it.